Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Urban Bugout Bag. But first, Stanley, if you want to sponsor me, just let me know because these prices are getting ridiculous and my plug quit at Dick's. So just let me know. Let me know. We can get together and make this happen. Let's get into it. All right, guys, it's 2024. If you don't have an Urban Bugout Bag, you need to do so. A Get Home Bugout Bag, one of the two. You need to create this if you want to protect yourself, protect your family in any kind of urban environment or urban setting. You never know what's going to happen. To be honest, nothing could happen, and it probably won't, but it's better to be ready. On top of this bag that you see here, I definitely recommend taking any type of self-defense classes or anything like that to just kind of get yourself more acquainted with survival situations. All right, now with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this bag. All right, so we're actually gonna start with the first two pouches on the front of the bag, starting with the smallest up top. So in this pouch, I have a pocket knife. This is just a standard pocket knife. I actually picked this up at Walmart. I'll leave the links in the description for these. If not a link, I'll leave, where I got it from. And, if you want something like this, definitely go and get it. It doesn't have to be something that of this poor of a quality. Could be something much nicer. But this is my cut through whatever I need to knife and not worry about damaging it. So you'll see that we also have more in this bag. Next up, we actually have just earplugs, because if you're going to be firing or sirens, whatever's going on, you might need ear protection, so why not just have it? Just good practice, to be honest. Other than that, I have lens wipes for my glasses, because your boy needs glasses. Now, let's go ahead and get into the second pouch here. Getting into the second pouch on the front of the bag, we have a couple things here that are pretty interesting. Starting off with is my buck knife. It's just it doesn't have to be pretty like this. It's just a Damascus steel knife with a gut hook, sharpened to your liking. And it's good to have some kind of carry knife that has either a belt loop or, one that's not a foldable knife. It's more durable and, it'll definitely last you a lot longer. This could be used for gutting, skinning, filleting, whatever you need to. Moving on, we have a multi-tool. I 100% recommend getting a multi-tool. It's obviously up to you what brand you'd like to use. This is just a protocol multi-tool, and obviously it comes standard with your pliers. It's got saw blades on the knife. It's got corkscrew openers, screwdriver, you name it, it's got it on there. Again, I recommend getting one that's just a little bit more expensive because the durability, if this is the only tools you have, it's good to have something that'll last you in any kind of situation. One thing I should specify is this is not a sustainable bug out bag, not a leave for good from home. This is a get home bug out bag. So if you're in an urban situation and you need to get out of trouble, this is that type of bag. There is some things in here that I like to carry in case I do need to stay overnight somewhere, or if I do need to start a fire or whatever it may be. There's a couple things like that in this bag, so you guys will see that. That actually leads me into what is next in this bag, and that is a fire starter. And this is actually, I actually got this off of a bespoke post. I forget what the brand is, but it's been pretty great. I've needed only to start a fire a couple times with this. If you check back in my last bug out bag video from last year, this is just an updated bag, updated video of that. So this ferro rod and striker has not done me wrong. There is fire starter in this paracord here. If you need it, I obviously recommend carrying some kind of, paper or whatever you need to start with your fire. On top of that, I have a couple government issued pins that we get at work, and you never know if you're gonna need a pin, so why not carry that as well. All right, guys, we're getting to the two main compartments of the bag now, starting with the secondary bag, and this is where it gets really interesting. So up top, I carry just tape because you never know if you're gonna get a large gash or something like that, as well as a first aid kit. I definitely recommend just carrying extra tape too, so you can tape that up, or just tape up whatever you need. As well, in that pocket, I have a headlamp. That way you can walk around once it gets dark outside and have your light on you, so you don't have to hold it with your hand. There's several different, sensors to this, and you can set it however you want. It doesn't have to be this one, but I definitely recommend having a headlamp. So if you get into the nighttime setting and you're walking around town, or if you're walking through the woods or whatever it may be, and you're not too worried about being absolute discreet every moment, you can pop this on and you have visibility. Or if you get into any kind of altercation, or if you need to get out of something, it's always good to have light, right? It's always good to have light. Next on the list is the firearm. So this is a PSA dagger, 9mm, 15 round clip, double stacked. I obviously recommend carrying an extra mag. I don't have one in this bag currently, but I do recommend having at least 2 mags. Never keep it chambered. I really like this. It's basically a Glock 19 clone. I'm sure you guys know what a PSA dagger is, but if you don't, Palmetto State Armory created kind of a mimic, and it's honestly still great quality. I've never had any issues with it, other than the sights. The sights can come undone at times. Like I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it can start turning. Look, right now it's moving. If you look at that. So besides that, maybe replace it with your own iron sights. They have rails that you can slots that you can change out on these as well with red dots and whatever you want to use. But it's a great firearm. 9mm is my preferred go-to, and overall good gun. I picked this up for $310, I think it was. Always keep a holster in your bag as well, so you don't shoot yourself in the leg by accident. Next up, we just have a pair of mechanics gloves, just in case you don't want, not only just in case you don't want your fingerprints on everything, but also you never know if you're going to need gloves, if you're bending back wire, barbed wire, whatever it may be, you're going to need some kind of glove. So always keep a set of gloves on you. That is my recommendation. Obviously, take it as you will. Now, moving on to the main compartment of the bag. All right, we have a bunch of stuff in this bag, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on each one, but we're gonna go through this. So, again, this is a get home bug out bag. So I have some packs of food in here, usually just dried nuts and fruit, some corn nuts, and a trail mix, just something of the sort to get you through the day, get you a little bit of energy if you need it. This is not to sustain you over time. This is just to get you home. Next up this is another multi-tool. You can even carry this on hip if you want to, or you can just carry it in your bag as I do here. Now, this multi-tool comes with a serrated blade if you need to cut through any kind of wood. It also has a straight edge for any kind of regular cutting, and a gut hook if you're really trying to get in there and do some damage. It has a window breaker on the end, and it's also curved, so it can be a shovel as well. It's a great multi-tool. I actually just picked this up not too long ago. I have not got to use it yet. I'm very excited to. So maybe I'll put a video in of putting that to the use on some kind of application. Next up, I have a hatchet, just a small hatchet for any kind of wood chopping or whatever you need to do throughout the day. Because again, you don't know, and it's good to be more prepared than you're going to need. So this is just a protocol. Same thing with the multi-tool hatchet. It's actually got 3 wrenches in there as well. Window breaker and rope cutter. So it's a great tool. I do need to sharpen it, but it is a great tool as well. All right, next up, I always recommend having a water bottle of some sort on you, and a water purifier of some sort. So you don't really know, it shouldn't be any kind of issues where you're not getting clean water, but if you need clean water, have a filter. If not, just have water on you at all times. Next up, this one. These days, I don't see too many people using them, but you don't know if you're going to need to see across the town or look at something. You know what I'm saying? If you're on top of a building, you need to see something. We have a pair of binoculars here. This is actually just a Brookstone set. It's worked out great for me. I've not had any issues with it. You can go a higher quality route if you want to get a more expensive pair. I've seen some range up to $1,000, $1,500, but for me, this has worked perfectly. It's not about the cost of things most of the time, so pair of binoculars has been great for me, and you never know when you'll need those as well. All right, lastly, in this bag is a med kit. Again, it's kind of common sense. You need a med kit. Someone, breaks a leg, tears an arm open, gets caught on a fence, whatever it may be, you're gonna need a med kit, right? So just get yourself something smaller that you can fit into your bag. Again, your bag can be bigger or smaller than mine. But You know, it's just a survival first aid kit essentials. This one's by Outer Banks Provisions, so it's a pretty good kit. I like it. This is a brand new one, actually. I just re-upped. So, yeah, have a med kit on you, sterile bandages, alcohol, all of that. You know, you're going to need it all. Now, with that being said, now that we've gone through the bag completely, the bag itself is actually something I picked up from the Navy Exchange. If you're not military or have an in, you might not have access to that store exactly, but there's tons and tons of bags just like this out on the regular market. I'm going to try to find the exact name of this. The branding is not on the bag. But yeah, something like this that is discreet. You don't want to stick out. I have one simple patch. I would recommend no patches even. Something that has straps. It also has a clip for you to clip on the front of your chest. And yeah, it's been a great bag, guys. I cannot complain. So that's the bag. Now, with that being said, guys, that is going to do it for the 2024 Urban Get Home Bug Out Bag. If you have any questions or any recommendations on what I should add to the bag, as I'm constantly growing and changing what I like to carry in my daily rotation, drop that down below. I've seen things like pepper spray or you know, there's a number of countless things that you can switch out in these bags. But again, it's your preference, what you're going to think that you're going to need in a situation. There's obviously the things that you're going to need, like water and of protection and, you know, the basics, the necessities, med kit, that kind of stuff. So obviously this is up to you, what you want to put in yours. I'm going to try to put as much as I can into this video to give you some recommendations on what to use. And again, drop your recommendations down below as I look forward to seeing it. And until next time, see you then.